Hello and welcome to another Modern Cube Draft video here on YouTube. My name is Ethan, also known as Lord Tupperware. Alright, so I haven't done a ton of these modern drafts other than the few videos that I've done, probably like 6 or 7, and I'm not crazy about this cube. Doesn't seem like super high on synergy, more just high on like raw power level and like curving out. So not as fun as I would like. I've drafted some like sweet decks and then gotten mowed over by mono red or mono white. So I wonder if those are just the decks you want to be in. We've got a number of powerful planeswalkers here with Ajani, Chandra, and Obnix. I think Chandra taking top marks there as the best one among those. Lotus Cobra is a great card in the green ramp deck. A couple like fine blue cards, but not really what I want, and some lands that are not like high picks. I think I'm just going to grab Lotus Cobra. Probably the green ramp deck is highly contested, but if it's not, or if there's just a couple people in there, I feel like this is one of the better cards you can grab. Also will incentivize me to grab fetch lands, which I like to grab anyway. Okie dokie. Well, Glenelendra is a great card, but I'm not really into drafting blue these days, at least in this cube. I think this is a very powerful card though. I'm going to grab Arbor Elf. The 1-drop rampers are better than the 2-drops, though this is cute in that it can do a one-time ramp twice, which is nice to be able to get, but I do think that the 1-drop is going to be better than the 2-drop here. Sylvan Advocate is cute and might wheel. Like, these two cards are like fine, but not really where you want to be. Like, definitely just going to grab Arbor Elf here and move on my merry way. Alrighty, well, I've wanted to draft the Destructive Force deck before, but it hasn't really come together, just because the mana rocks are few and far between. It's a late-ish Goblin Guide, like a 3rd pick Goblin Guide. I'm gonna grab that here. There's also like some weird green-red like potential for aggro, I think. But maybe not. I'm trying to remember what the changes were from the old version of the Modern Cube to now. Like, is Flinthoof Boar still in here? Is Voltaic Brawler still in here? That kind of thing. And if so, then red-green aggro is a thing. And if not, then it's not. Some good black cards here with Confidant, Asylum Visitor, and Cryptghast. But I think I'm going to hedge and grab Goblin Guide. See what's up. There's a Nissa, which is like pretty sweet and nice to have in what kind of deck? Like, it's not really good in green ramp. It's okay if you can protect it, but I don't know. Not super impressed by that card. There's Figure of Destiny, which is another 1-drop, and we could just grab it. Like, there's also Glorybound Initiate, which has impressed me. Maybe I'm just gonna hedge away from green and take this red/white 1-drop. There's also a red-white and a red-green dual land, which I am taking a look at. But I'm going to take a flyer on this Goblin Guide and grab the Figure of Destiny here. Yep. Okay, mono red is open. I'm going to grab Koth. I mean, Koth and Goblin Guide are two of the best cards for that deck, I would imagine. They normally are in most cubes, and I would imagine this cube is no different, so I'm going to grab Koth here. Would have been sweet if we had grabbed Chandra first, though I don't think Chandra is the most at home in red aggro. There's also a late Mind Stone for the, Wildfire. What was that? Well, I just passed it. The 5 red, deal 5 to everything, sack 5 lands. But I'll just grab Koth here. And the rest of this draft, unfortunately, is just going to like draft itself. We're just going to draft the powerful red cards here. Searing Blaze is fantastic. 3 damage to a creature, 3 damage to a player if you have landfall. Not much else to discuss. So, Snooze Alert. But, this is sort of how you get into this deck, is you see those kinds of cards, like those signal cards, like Goblin Guide is about the best 1-drop, and Koth is a really good card for the deck. Phyrexian Metamorph is nice too. Just the fact that this is going to be a 3-mana clone of anything that we can throw in this deck. Maybe red is drying up. I don't know. I would be surprised. I would be surprised if red dried up here. There was not another option in that pack, though. But again, tough to pick up on signaling that specifically in Cube just because the packs have random stuff. I mean, take a look at this. We've got Char, Arc Trail, and Brimstone Volley. All fantastic options. I think Volley is better than Char. Is that right? That's probably not right. But the 2 damage to us isn't great, but this is consistently 4 damage. It's always going to be 4 damage, whereas you got to work to make this 5 damage. But 5 damage is a lot. I don't know. I've never actually had to make this pick for Mono Red before. I'm going to go with Char, but that could be wrong. I don't know. This is about a week and a half into the Modern Cube being released. So I guess if people have been grinding it, they've got a pretty good sense of what card evaluations people who are drafting this consistently are taking. But I don't know that. I would imagine that this is a pretty powerful deck, but probably people are sick of this by now, maybe. But I don't think there's a lot of like fun, busted stuff to be doing. Other than, yeah, I'm not sure, Kiki Jiki. Alright, so there's a Lash Out, which is nice. 3 to a creature, and once you clash, if you win, you get to deal 3 damage to that creature's controller. So another sort of Blazing Volley, or Searing Blaze variant, so I'm definitely going to snap that up here. Someone took the Chandra, which I'm not super concerned about. I mean, if there's one other red drafter at the table, we should still be okay. And we get a Pia and Kira Nalaar. I actually like this card quite a lot in red. So it's 4 power, 4 toughness worth of stats for 4 mana, and also gives you a little reach by being able to sacrifice artifacts to deal damage to stuff. I'm going to grab that over the Hangerback Walker. Hangerback Walker is not really what you want to be doing because it's always going to be like, its power and toughness is always going to be half as much as what you spend on it. So you really want it in like the Destructive Force deck, really. But I'm going to grab Nykthos here, and we might run it. Playing colorless lands in decks like this can be a little sketchy. You may not want to be doing that because of your heavy color commitments, like your red 1-drops. Like, look at this, the mana sinks here is red-white or triple red, triple white, or I don't even know what 6 is. Septuple? No, who knows? Math. But Nykthos can be pretty sweet. I don't know what we're going to take here. I guess Glint Sleeve Siphoner and Shurdisua, maybe Odric. I mean, neither of those are really getting played. Revoker could be played if we end up short on unplayables. This is a fine creature, and it's definitely good out of the sideboard. Alright, well, this is a pretty easy Thundermaw Hellkite. This is one of the best finishers for the mono red deck. And I think we have a pretty high chance of wheeling Gold Knight Castigator, which I am also very impressed with in this particular cube. Otherwise, I don't know. Is Cone of Flame? You need all 3 targets for Cone of Flame, so I think it's not particularly good just because all of the, I don't know, maybe it's a house against the green ramp deck, but other than that, I'm not sure if it's very, very good. But I do know that Thundermaw Hellkite is fantastic, so that is what I'm going to grab here. I mean, this is looking like a very good version of the red deck, just like makes me a little snoozy. Alrighty, none of these picks are jumping out at me. There is a Cycling Land, which is kind of nice, but having a land that comes into play tapped is not so nice in the aggro deck. Another Mana Rock makes me sad about passing the Destructive Force. Icy's okay. We're really looking at the 2 red cards of Siege Gang and Murderous Redcap, and I think I like Siege Gang a little better than Redcap, though it's close. You don't want a ton of 5-drops, but you also don't want, like, there are better 4-drops than this in aggro red, I think. And Siege Gang has synergies with, like, other cards in the format, like Goblin Rabblemaster. So I'm just going to grab Siege Gang Commander here, but I don't know if we're going to end up main decking it or not. It'll depend how the rest of the draft shakes out. Well, Pia Nalaar is nice. So is Wooded Foothills, and again, I mean, this is why I like drafting this deck is not super fun, is because you're like, well, what are the red cards in the pack? I'll take those. You're not making a lot of interesting decisions between like spells and lands and fetches versus duels. But Pia Nalaar is a nice pickup for this deck. Be on the lookout for, what's that card? Actually, no, I guess not. But, you know, some sort of thing that benefits tokens. We have 3 token makers right now, the Pia and Kieran, and the Siege Gang. So some sort of benefit for going wide would be nice, but most of those are in white. And there is the artifact, whose name escapes me, but it only benefits a particular color, and both of our Pias make artifacts, so it wouldn't be great for us. Here, I'm probably just going to grab Chandra Pyromaster, but for the sideboard, I don't anticipate main decking this. It's okay. We could run it, but I hope that we can get better cards. Probably like the best card in this pack for Cube is like Resto. Grizzlebrand, sadly, does not really work out in this format because there's really no reanimation or no ways to cheat it into play. Alright, I've been pretty impressed by Kari Zev playing against it, so I'm going to grab that here. There's an Ire Shaman. Unfortunately, Boom Bust I have not been super impressed with. I had it in a really nice red-white control deck that had a bunch of mana rocks, but I didn't really end up wanting Bust all that much. Crystal Shard has been a fun card for me, but a little too dirtily for the streamlined aggro decks like what we've got in front of us here. So just grab Kari Zev. Yeah, this is what I was thinking about. Hall of Triumph. So Hall of Triumph is actually like pretty interesting here, especially with Siege Gang Commander. It's very interesting. But it does not buff this artifact, this Thopter, or this Thopter. Maybe it's still worth it. Like, Thriving Grubs is so replaceable, and Hall of Triumph is not in this deck. Maybe Thriving Grub isn't replaceable, and I just need that critical mass of aggressive 1s and 2s. I'm not sure. And I also wonder, like, which is more likely to wheel. Like, this is not a good card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We will take a card out of this, and then 7 people will take cards. There'll be 2 left. Maybe Frostwalker will be one of them. I'm just going to grab Thriving Grubs. Hall of Triumph is probably a trap. I'm not sure, though. But we could have copied it with Metamorph. So you might be thinking, like, well, you've got a Red Plains. Ooh, baby. All right, quick pause. I believe Chandra's Phoenix is better than Boros Reckoner, but it's close. I think it's quite close. This being hasty, evasive, and recursive, I think all matches up to being pretty sweet, and this is really tough to deal with, but I think this is better for the deck. Nice, we get another aggressive 2-drop. But unless you're playing against X1s, or if your opponent is like really only sticking like 1 threat or so, nice, we got Gold Knight Castigator. That makes me very happy. Yeah, my guess is there's one other red drafter at the table, maybe, because we're not seeing 1s, we're not seeing a ton of burn. We've got Blaze and Lash Out right now, and Char. But I think this deck is good. Anyway, what I wanted to say about Chandra Pyromaster is that while it does make something not be able to block, it doesn't take a huge chunk out of your opponent's life total. You need other things, and what the red deck really wants is like for each card to account for some amount of life for your opponent, right? Like Char's got 4 damage down. This has got 4 damage. This has 5 damage, right? You can sort of, hopefully this is dealing them 4 damage. This is 3. This is hopefully 3. So Chandra's like, well, is it going to deal them 1? It's going to like allow other things to get through maybe with its +1 ability, but by itself it's not really taking care of business. And that's really what you want in the red deck. You want the standalone like TCB cards. That is my opinion. So going into the last pack, we're definitely going to be looking to pick up 1-drops at a premium and burn spells at a premium. We've got top end, we've got good hasty stuff. Like not sold on these non-hasty 4s and 5s. Wow. Got Red Cap and Canyon Slough on the wheel. Well, I just can't imagine we're going to play this. I'll take the Cycling Land. I just can't imagine we're going to play Red Cap. It's so underpowered. Kessig Wolfram. Perilous Mirror. It's a late Student of Warfare. The fact that that wheeled, I mean, that's another premier 1-drop in white. That, like Goblin Guide, gives me a signal that the mono white deck is open, I would think. Ooh, we did get Hall of Triumph back. Frostwalker and Hall of Triumph. Yep. Oh, wow, and Boris Reckoner. Okay, maybe no one else is in red. Probably will not end up needing to play that. And may not end up playing old Key and Peele. Ooh. Well, I do like me a Gargadon, but Rabblemaster must be the pick. And Gargadon has a real chance of wheeling, I think. And yes, Gargadon is good in a deck like this, especially good if we are going to end up playing these token makers. I mean, it's not unrealistic for you to play this on turn 1 and be able to get it as a hasty 5-drop, a hasty 6-drop, especially with cards like Pia, like Rabblemaster. But Rabblemaster is a great pickup. This is a Gremlin, right? Yeah. Okay. Where be the 1-drops? Collective Defiance is nice. Good. Burn spell, removal spell, and even able to, like, if you're flooding out, can pitch a bunch of lands for you, or just draw you into some relevant action to finish out the game. But I think I'd rather have the 2-drop creature. This is kind of awkward because it's a 2-mana 2/2 that, like, you gotta dump a lot of mana into this before. Like 6 mana investment to make it a 4/4 flyer, which I recognize is good, but removal exists in abundance in this format. So I'm less high on Kargon Dragonlord than I have been in the past. Maybe I do just want Collective Defiance. Can't pull the trigger. Gonna grab the 2-drop. There's also a chance that it wheels, considering that, like, Reckoner went last. Alright, Abbot of Carol Keep, that's just fine. Again, another 2-drop. If it's late in the game, hopefully it draws you a card. Where are the 1s, man? Alright, we gotta grab... Ooh, interesting. Magma Jet, Heart of Kirin, and Boggart Ramgang. I hope Boggart Ramgang wheels, because we definitely want that. But I'm just going to take the burn here over the 4/4 vehicle. I don't know. We do have, like, this is 3 power, this is 3 power. This is 3, that's 2, that's 3. This can crew it, help crew it. Maybe Heart is just better. We also do have a Planeswalker. Well, we now have Rabblemaster. I think I am going to play Hall. Maybe not Pia and Kirin, though. Alright, I'm going to take Magma Jet. Wow, Batterskull, Wear Tear, and Stormblood Berserkers. We just have to grab Shrine of Burning Rage. This is one of the best mono red cards. This on turn 2 is a house, and really, the counters add up quickly, and this can be a real finisher for your deck. So I'm going to grab that here. Stormblood Berserker wheeling would be great. Just literally no 1-drops. Alright, I'll grab Dismember. It's not burn, but it is removal. And Prophetic Flame Speaker just never is what mono red wants to be doing, and we could have had a sweet Wildfire deck. We saw a lot of Mana Rocks. But I'll just grab Dismember here. Young Pyromancer is very cute, especially with Hall of Triumph. We don't have a ton of non-creature spells that are like instants or sorceries that are going to trigger it. We, in fact, only have 6 at the moment, but nevertheless, I'm going to grab that here. Hero of Oxid Ridge, huh? Yeah, that's a hasty 4 is what I want. And the Battle Cry is actually not irrelevant with, like, Rabblemaster, Pyromancer, that kind of thing. I'll grab that here. We gotta make some cuts. We got to make some cuts. I think Dragonlord might just have to get the heck out of here. And I'm interested enough in Hall of Triumph. I think we've got enough things that make it that are gonna make it pretty sweet. Nice with Karizev as well. We got that Gargadon, which I do think I want to grab here, especially because we don't have a ton of 1-drops. I don't think I want Ether Sphere Harvester, but maybe I do. Maybe Harvester is just better. It's a 3-mana, 3-power flyer. I wasn't expecting to have to make this decision. I think I gotta just go with the Garg. Go with the Garg. And we have to make cutsies. Not playing any of these cards. Take life gain away from someone playing cube. Again, not playing these cards. How could this possibly be in the cube? It's certainly not getting cast. I think at least, ooh, we got Bogger Ramgang, which I am going to play. Yikes. Yikes, maybe we have to cut Hall. Yikes, maybe we have to cut Pia and Kieran, like, or Pia and Alar. Wear Tear for the board is nice, sure. Jeez. No respect. No respect, but why would they? Well, we could also, like, we could cut Siege Gang, and we could cut Hall. Is that right? And then, like, is Chandra maybe better than something? Probably not. I like that all these are hasty. I like that Rabblemaster is hasty, Chandra's hasty, Ramgang. Dismember's really a 1-drop. I don't think we're going to play Nykthos. I don't think we're going to play Canyon Slough, but we could. I think this is going to be my 24. Do I have any mana sinks? Figure. I guess that's a reason for Kargon. That's just better than, like, Pia. But Pia is also a mana sink. It's better than, like, Thriving Grubs. Let's do that. Or maybe better than, like, Searing Blaze. How many artifacts do I have? How many spells do I actually have? Just 5, right? I have Shrine and Koth in the deck. Maybe Pyromancer out, Thriving Grubs in, because I'm not doing the Hall, like, go wide thing. Alright. And we'll just add 16 mountains. Wow. It really thinks I should be playing a lot of other colors besides red. It is wrong. Alright, I'll see y'all for match 1.